morning, boys and girls. It's me, Miss Haley. I brought you a letter today and a book and a song. The letter I brought you is actually my favorite letter. Anybody guess why? Do you know the name of this letter? H. Big line down, little line across. Can you guess why H is my favorite letter? Hayley. H is my special letter. My name starts with H. What's your special letter? H also starts horse, which is one of my favorite animals. And it's one of the animals that you might find on a farm, which we're learning about this week, aren't we? H. Big line down, little line across. I wonder if you can pause the video and go find something that starts with the letter H. Could be a handkerchief, or a hamburger, or a horsey. Tell me what you find. Now, the book that I brought has an animal in it that also starts with the letter H. Now, if you look at these animals, you might think those are chickens. Chicken does not start with H. But these are certain kinds of chickens. These are female chickens or girl chickens. And we call female chickens hens. Hens, okay? So this book is about some hens, and the book is called Daisy Comes Home. And it's written and illustrated by Jan Brett, and she is one of my favorite authors. I really like her work. Daisy Comes Home. I'm looking at the cover of the book, and I'm wondering if Daisy is one of the hens. Or maybe Daisy is the little girl that we see. Should we find out? Okay. Daisy Comes Home by Jan Brett. And one of the things I like about Jan Brett's books are her illustrations. She has very lovely pictures, so pay special attention to those, okay? Look over the garden wall, and you will see the 6 happiest hens in China. They live in May's sandy yard by the Li River, where they lay brown eggs every day for May to sell at the garden. But it was not always this way. Once upon a time, the smallest hen, the one May calls Daisy, was picked on by the others. This is hard to imagine because May was known far and wide for her happy hens. She gave them treats. She put fresh hay in their nests. She gave them baths when they fell in black mud. And when she called, goo, 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 all of the hens would run to her as fast as their legs could carry them. Can you do that? Goo, 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 goo. Even May's egg baskets were painted with big red characters that read, Happy Hens, and she tried to make it so. But every night, when it was time to roost in the hen house, the other hens picked on Daisy. They fluffed up their feathers and crowded her off the perch. They jostled her until, peck, one or the other pushed her, and thump, off she fell. Are they being kind or not so kind? Not so kind. That's not very nice to push somebody off of a perch. They're bullying her. Then the hens tucked their heads into their feathers and went to sleep, while poor little Daisy was stuck below on the damp mud floor, shivering and cold until morning. That's terrible. One day, it rained all day and the hens stayed inside. When it got dark, they flew up to their perch, except for Daisy. She had had enough of pushy hens and cold, damp floors. She went outside to find a place to spend the night. Down on the riverbank, she spied one of the market baskets. She snuggled in and fluffed up her feathers to stay warm. Daisy was sleeping and didn't see the river creeping up the bank from all the rain. And when the water reached her happy hen's basket, she didn't feel it float out onto the river. There goes Daisy. But when the basket started tipping and bobbing, Daisy woke up. She peeked out and saw a watery world all around her. The sandy yard, the garden wall, and Maymay's farmhouse looked smaller and smaller as the current carried her down the river. Finally, the basket bumped against a stone jetty where a houseboat was tied up. Scratch, scratch, scraped the basket as the river waves pushed it against the sharp rocks. A dog was sitting on the deck of the houseboat. When he saw the plump hen bobbing in the basket, he barked and scrambled toward her. Daisy squawked and pecked and beat the air with her wings. It was enough to tip the basket off the rocks, and she floated away just in time. Dawn broke over the Gui Mountains as the basket drifted along the river. Branches brushed against it. Fish swam silently by, and birds flew overhead. It sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Suddenly, Daisy felt a thump. What could it be? Daisy looked up and saw two big horns and a pair of surprised eyes looking down at her. The basket had drifted into the legs of a great big water buffalo taking a morning drink. The buffalo snorted loudly, scaring Daisy. She flew forward and nipped his furry muzzle and flapped her wings. You guys know what a muzzle is, don't you? It's the nose of the animal. She nipped him with her beak and she flapped her wings. Daisy scared the water buffalo. He turned and galloped up the bank, scattering the ducks as he ran. His splashes made waves that carried the basket back into the middle of the river. Daisy traveled along all day until her basket was hooked by the roots of a banyan tree, where a troop of red-tailed monkeys lived. The curious monkeys eyed Daisy and climbed down for a closer look. Daisy froze as one monkey crept up to the basket and reached in. Daisy flapped and pecked, nipped and squawked. The startled monkey pushed the basket away. It broke loose from the tree and floated on down the river. Daisy wondered what would happen next. What do you think is going to happen next? Interesting. Up ahead, Daisy saw a fisherman with cormorants diving all around his bamboo boat. The cormorants, which are birds, right, were catching fish and taking them to him for a reward. The fisherman felt a soft bump behind him. Thinking it was a cormorant, he reached back and grabbed. How surprised he was to see that he was holding a hen instead of a cormorant. "Finders keepers," he exclaimed. "Little fish, big fish, silver fish, white fish. That's what I sell at the market. But today, I will have this tender young chicken." He put a net over the basket and headed to shore with poor Daisy inside. At home, Maymay looked all day and all night for her little Daisy. She wasn't in the hen house. She wasn't behind the farmhouse. She couldn't fly over the wall. Where is she, Maymay wondered, worried all the time about what had happened to Daisy. Finally, she knew that she had to go to the market. With a sad feeling, she packed her eggs in their baskets and started on her way. As the baskets swung back and forth, the red characters on the sides of her baskets made Maymay feel sadder and sadder. "Happy hens," she said aloud to herself. "What about my Daisy? Where could she be?" At the market, Maymay found a place and arranged her eggs in clean, sweet-smelling straw. All morning, shoppers bought her fresh brown eggs, but she couldn't stop thinking about her little lost hen. Maymay heard a voice calling to her. It was her friend Zhang, yelling from the back of a bike cart. "A fisherman has a happy hens basket," he shouted. "What?" she called, not understanding what he was saying. "A happy hens basket," he repeated. "You'd better hurry because he's showing off what's inside." "Daisy!" Maymay shouted. Maymay raced to where the fish were sold, and there was Daisy. Look, there she is. Beautiful and plump in her basket, surrounded by a crowd, all wanting to buy her. "That's my hen!" she cried to the fisherman. but his face was like stone. She pointed to the red characters on the basket. "Happy hens," she said. The fisherman crossed his arms. "Finders keepers," he growled, and turned away to sell Daisy. It's not very kind either, is it? Mamie was about to leave, but her eyes rested on those characters. Happy hens. All she could think about was Daisy in a cooking pot. She squeezed her eyes shut and clenched her fists. She had to do something. "Goo, goo, 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 goo," she cried at the top of her voice. And when Daisy heard that call, she answered it the way she had every day of her life. She rose up and threw herself against the basket, tipping it over. She ran toward her friend Mamie as fast as her legs could go. Daisy flew onto Mamie's shoulder, and off they went, running back to get Mamie's baskets and go home. The fisherman ran after them, furious. "Stop!" he yelled at Mamie. "That's my hen." "Finders keepers," Mamie called over her shoulder. And with Daisy clinging to her, she ran and didn't stop until they were safely home. That night, as the sun went down, Daisy took a place on the roost. When one of the big hens fluffed up her wings and spread out, expecting Daisy to fall off the perch like she always did, Daisy flapped her wings. "I learned that from the boat dog," she clucked. Another hen tried to tip her off, and she pushed right back. "I scared a water buffalo like that," she squawked. Another hen jostled her. "Peck, peck, peck, peck." Daisy kept her place on the perch and beat the air with her wings. She remembered the monkey, and she pecked and flapped all over again. And that was when the hens gave Daisy a place of her own. The lap, lap, lap of the river made a peaceful nighttime song. No bumping, no jostling, no fussing around. Just 6 happy hens, their heads tucked into their feathers, high and warm and safe together. The end. I like that book. I hope you did too. Now I have a song for you, and I think you're going to like it. Do you want to sing too, baby? Okay, here we go.
2, 4, 6, 8. We're counting legs, so don't be late.
We're counting legs, how many will there be? Abby picks a horse, let's
horse.
look and see.
2 legs in the front, 2 legs in the back.
The horse has 4 legs, I know that.
But only 1 tail. Nay.
We're counting legs, how many will there be? Charlie picks a cow, let's
cow.
look and see.
2 legs in the front, 2 legs in the back.
A cow has 4 legs, I know that. But only 1 tail.
Moo. Now we can play our steel drums like this.
We're counting legs, how many will there be? Megan picks a lamb,
A
let's
lamb.
look and see.
2 legs in the front, 2 legs in the back.
A lamb has 4 legs, I know that. But only 1 tail. We're counting legs, how many will there be? Patrick picks a pig,
A pig.
let's look and see. 2 legs in the front, 2 legs in the back. A pig has 4 legs, I know that. But only 1 tail. And it's a curly little tail.
Ooh, that was a good one. I hope you guys liked it. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.